music and great ministry.
Spiritual minded.
That's a brand name. Like Pepsi, that's a brand name. I stand behind it. I guarantee it. They know that, even if they don't know me any more than they know the chairman of General Mills.
I'ma give you great music and great ministry.
AJ Rock, let's get him.
Now, I want to speak to you about Christian hip-hop. I've been hearing your name in Christian hip-hop circles for a minute, so it's good to talk to you. My man Majors and several other people. So I know you've worked with some artists and people don't know that. Your involvement, how you feel about it?
Well, I mean, my thing is, I prayed a few years ago, once I kind of started meeting some of the Christian rappers and working with this group that I've been working with for some years called What Happens After the Cross. Did some work with Corey Red, John Cook. I actually asked, well, at first it was really a question to God as to, what it is that I should be doing. And basically it came back for me to ask him to kind of be granted this coach in the locker room ism. I don't know what to call it. And so, I mean, that's kind of sort of where I am. I mean, I work with J.A.Z, I work with Justified and Zealous. It's just an issue of just kind of trying to help these guys position themselves. And like I said with you, and I would love to be working with spiritual minded more into helping these guys find their tribe. I think that what happens in gospel hip hop a lot is that they really believe that their audience is a piece of what J.A.Z has, or a piece of what Jada has, or a piece of what Wayne has. And I don't think it's any of that. And they. The sad part is that they relate it to their own experience. Their own experience is, oh, I was listening to Wayne and I don't know, my mama told me to go to church one day. I finally went, happened to be a young guest preacher there, and I gave my life to the Lord. And they kind of figure that experience will fuel everybody else's experience in music. And it really won't. I say in my lectures when I talk, and I speak about digital processes all the time, but everything from a musical perspective because of me being a musician. All great music is made for 5 blocks. Springsteen made Asbury Park, and look who I'm talking to. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking to a guy that his debut record was for 5 blocks. You understand what I'm trying to say? Like, it wasn't y'all could have said anything. You know what I'm saying? Y'all could have made, y'all first record could have been anything. You see what I'm saying? I mean, it could have been about the 3 of y'all, or whatever, or your garage, or I got a garage and you don't. You understand what I'm trying to say? But you understood that concept, and it's no different than us making Go Stetsa and the big part of that record being the Go Brooklyn chant. Or LL touting Farmers Boulevard every time you turned around. Bruce Springsteen, Asbury Park. I mean, it goes on and on. But all great music is made for 5 blocks. Now, sometimes those 5 blocks are physical. In the case of JVC Force and Stetsasonic, they were physical. Sometimes those 5 blocks are proverbial. But good music is made for 5 blocks. So, like say for instance, in the case of an Amy Winehouse, God bless the dead, it's proverbial. She's making record for Britain, but she's not shouting out Brixton or that. But she understands there's a London massive there. You know what I'm saying? That kind of gets it. I think that in gospel hip hop, that concept is lost. And I think that they don't know where their block is. And I think that there is a tribe out there. And you and I know this from making records in the past that, we just waited for it to happen. Like I was just talking to you, you just wait. I mean, you play it, you see. Austin 2 give you a couple of spins, this one give you a couple of spins. Then once Red Alert hit it, boom, I'm in. You know what I'm saying? But we waited for it to happen. But the belief was, you just told me when you came out of the studio, you knew. You didn't know what. But you knew. And it's the same thing with us. It was no different than making Just Say Stet or Go Stetsa. It's like, okay, I'll wait, because once they get it, once my tribe get a hold of this thing, this thing gonna be a whole nother thing. I think that's the thing. That's the lesson. You know what I mean? The lesson is, your audience is not possibly never gonna be J.A.Z's audience. Possibly never gonna be Wayne or Nicki's audience or Drake's audience or whoever's audience.
Even if it's somebody who listens to them that might listen to you, but it's not the audience.
It's never gonna be that. Your audience is a unique tribe of people that were looking for this as an answer. My audience was a unique tribe of, sad to say but true, stick-up kids that wanted a record that they could go crazy with. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing over and over. So I think that is, it's the missing link. When people talk about the music and and whether or not it's progressive or non-progressive and all of that, I think it's an issue of the artists, and I don't charge this to the record companies, I don't charge it to anyone. The artists actually finding their voice and finding their tribe.
Now, I do want to speak to you about one other thing. You said you used to be Muslim.
Right.
I want to talk about your transformation or how you just
you
saw.
know what? I have a stepson in New York, and he said something to me one time, and I think it can be summed up in a nutshell. He said, anybody looking for the truth will find Jesus Christ. And I think that is more than talking about, having lengthy discussions on conversions and those type of things. I think those are tough. It's really tough for me because I've been an intellectual my whole life.
Right.
My acceptance of Jesus as my Savior came through my spirit and not my mind. Okay. And it's difficult to explain. Right. Past my mind. It had nothing to do with me studying books and saying, other people want to, oh, this is tampered with, and this was written in this time, and how can you say this, and this contradicts that, and some of that might be true, some of that might be false, or whatever. But God moved past my mind in order for me, if you want to use the word conversion, I'll use it. Right. In order for me to be converted. Right. I rock with this Jesus dude is because he's fair. Right. You know what I mean? And because it was the only time in my life and in my religious experience that somebody said to me, yo, your bag is full of rocks and my bag is empty. Right. Take this empty bag and I'll take them rocks and carry it for you. Wow. And I've never really, I haven't, every other, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but every other religion touts, you do it, you're on your own, you're responsible for yourself. Wow. I'm the master of my own destiny, blah, blah. And that's not the Christian message. The other thing that resonated with me with Christianity that, was a kind of like a mind twist for me is that after my Islamic time, I began to get into a bunch of like those New Age studies that continuously touted man as being pure. Right. Christianity was the only religion bold enough to come at me and say that I was born in sin. Right. Which I used to hate people saying it. Right. Until I got smart and older and looked at the world and said, well, if man was born so pure, wouldn't somebody at this particular point, we've got rockets to the moon and all of these particular things, so wouldn't somebody at this particular point figured out how to stay pure? Yeah. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? I mean, we done figured everything else out, so wouldn't you? I mean, look at Magic. Right. He walking around, and he said he had the virus years ago, he's still walking around. Yeah. So somebody out of all of this intelligence that exists in men all over the planet would have figured out, we're born pure, this is the way. I don't care if they keep the kid in the bubble, I don't care. You understand what I'm saying? But somebody would have figured out how to stay pure. Right. The only thing that made sense to me was, this looks kind of true that we're born in sin. And we all got issues. That's why we so cruddy. Yeah. I'm from East New York, so I done seen crud on crud. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, and it explains things to me in a different way. Right. Where, now my walk can be, okay, I need a savior. Right. I need some help. Right. I need salvation. Right. And that makes sense to me. Right. I'm sure you get what I'm saying. I'm not sure if but that makes sense to me. It makes a lot more sense to me than somebody telling me, oh, you're pure, but somebody else threw the whack juice on you, and it's their fault. It's even my Muslim roots was in, it really came from a pro-black perspective. I was 5% first, and then I became Muslim. You know what I'm saying? So it came from a pro-black perspective. No denial of racism. My grandmother was a slave. So you know what I'm saying? I don't really get into that. But the message was always somebody else threw the whack juice on you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, you were really clean, but somebody else threw the whack juice on you. Right. And when the true level of responsibility, the true level of man's responsibility can really be measured. Here's one for you. In those 4 Gospels, challenge, get your mother's red letter Bible, pick one, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, I'm not telling you which one, and just write the red letters. And you'll see what I'm saying. I mean, there's nothing else I can say. Leave the black letters alone, pick one gospel, and write in a book, not type in a computer. Write in a book the red letters. And you can really kind of feel this thing. Because if you never experience Christ like that, you're not going to get it. You're going to look at him like he's Muhammad. You're going to look at him like he's Buddha. You're going to look at him like he's Krishna. And so you're not going to get it because you're going to put him in the line with the other religious leaders. Even Moses, no disrespect, but even Moses, and you're not going to get that, yo, take my bag that's empty. I'll take those heavy rocks and we'll rock on from here to, from here to eternity, we'll rock on.
I mean, in the whole thing of Christ, the whole everything he did, we're selfish by nature. He's selflessness. He's the meaning of love, like selflessness. Like
you only understand love. I mean, this is a hard one. This is me going out on theological limb, but I'll do it. You only understand love when somebody's taking a hit for you. I'll give you an example. We had a tradition in my house where we used to take each other's beatings.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, we see my mother. My mother is livid about something my sister did. And me and my brother would step in and say, I'll take her beating. Because we see her crying so hard and we know what this lady about to do. And my moms would do it. She would let us take each other's beatings. That's love.
That's
you understand what I'm trying to say? Because you putting yourself in harm's way. I've done that in the past. I've stepped in front of bullets for people. The person that I stepped in front of bullets for, I love that person. You know what I mean? That hit, you only understand it. Out of all the religions, no, and this is not being disrespectful or black. I love to have conversation with people. I love religion, period. So I'm a fan of religion. I happen to be a born again Christian, but I'm a fan of religion. But no other religion touts a leader, if you want me to put it in layman terms, that takes a hit for his followers.
I'ma give you great music and great ministry.
Spiritual minded.
That's a brand name. Like Pepsi, that's a brand name. I stand behind it. I guarantee it. They know that, even if they don't know me any more than they know the chairman of General Mills.
I'ma give you great music and great ministry.
AJ Rock, let's get him.